We got the boy Chop back at it, man. I've been playing some Modern Warfare 2. Story mode was fantastic. Spec Ops was lackluster, and multiplayer is an absolute buggy garbage mess, but I enjoy it anyway. Especially that ground war and invasion. Anyways, we got the boy Chop talking about Modern Warfare 2 getting major updates for season 1. I'm excited because there's literally nothing else there's no other reason to play the game besides the crappy level up system with the weapons. But let's get into it, Chop. Break the news to me, bro. And I can't wait to see this gameplay of you hopping around corners.
Warfare 2 came out a couple of
Yeah,
days ago,
see?
and obviously
Caught
we've all
it!
been playing it. We've had our time to, sink our teeth into this content and everything and really get a grip on the game. But as we've played it for a good, a couple of hours, you can see that the game clearly needs some updates. It is in desperate
100%.
need of some retooling. Some major patches are going to have to come out
Yes.
very soon
Yes.
to even get the game in a semi-working state. So
Yes.
we're going to be talking about the first major update that we're probably going to see for this game.
It better not be the damn battle pass. It better be, hey, you can actually play the game without it crashing or dev error or whatever the hell.
Now, let
That's
me
what I
be
wanna
clear.
hear.
The game is not an absolute disaster train wreck. Like, most of the game is functional, but there are some things that are just missing from the full game that are clearly not done or need to be optimized. And in particular, the first thing that we need to discuss that is already confirmed to be changing is the UI. Now,
The UI is absolute garbage. But the game is still broken, Chop. I don't like how you said it's not a dumpster fire or whatever. You said, let me hear what you said verbatim.
absolute disaster major update that we're probably going to see for this game. Now, let me be clear. The game is not an absolute disaster train wreck. Like,
It's not an absolute disaster, but it 100% is a train wreck. 100% is, bro.
clearly not done or need to be optimized. And in
Anyways, UI.
now I made my ultimate guide, and a lot of you who have seen that will know that the UI of this game is really messy,
Atrocious.
unorganized, and just quite frankly sloppy. It's one of those things where I feel like they tried to do too much with not enough time, and they have too many features that are just not organized properly. And Infinity Ward have said that they are fixing the UI and completely overhauling it. However, it's not going to be done in one big patch. They are going to be cleaning up and organizing the UI in stages. So I imagine the next update that's going to be coming out for the game probably within like a week, maybe a little longer depending on what happens. But the first major update for this game, I'm sure, is going to address at least a fair amount of the UI changes, but it's not going to be all of them. I do not know how long it's going to take for them to get the UI to the state they want it to be, but as of right now, it is
Honestly, they should just go back to 2019 UI. It wasn't bad at all.
It's kind of unacceptable. But besides UI, another thing that is going to be addressed in a major patch is weapon tuning. So for those of you who played on day one, if you got a gun to max level, you'll notice that you had the ability to
Bro, a max level at day one, you guys need to touch some grass.
tune your attachments on that, fully leveled up weapon. That was removed from the game after like 2 or 3 days because this was the main culprit, evidently causing all of the crashes for all platforms. And
Really? A slider was causing crashes? That's crazy.
completely just ghosted it from the game. They didn't even say when it's coming back. They said they're removing it until further notice, and as of right now, it's still not in the game. It's nowhere to be found. So I think the thing with weapon tuning, besides the literal technical issues causing game crashes, the thing that also needs to be looked at is the fact that the attachments themselves do not
My man chose to switch back to his preferred weapon that only has 3 rounds. Man, Ch0pper is confident as fuck in his headshot game.
work well with the guns, or I think the
gun. No, you just need 3 shots just to get the kill. Okay, I'm switching to the AK-74U. Thank you, Ch0pper, for putting me on game.
Play they're going for. This is a deep-rooted issue with the attachment system more broadly, but basically, you'll notice in Modern Warfare 2, every attachment you put on your gun really hurts the aim-down sight speed for the most part. Damn near every single one has that attribute, and it makes your gun so heavy and almost impossible to use for some of them. And I think
that's kind of realistic. You keep putting attachments on your gun, it does make it heavier.
Attachment tuning was obviously supposed to play into that system and mitigate that problem a little bit, but with that not in the game anymore, we are left with the,
Do you guys run STEM? Because I don't. Maybe I should.
Holy truth that putting attachments on your gun just really, for the most part, isn't that optimal. Sometimes it's better to use no attachments on certain weapons than it is to apply anything. Like the entire system they're going for, where we have
bro, you can't be saying this shit without giving me an example. I need to know what weapon I can run without attachments. I've been using the Vector. I put that 45 round magazine on there. I put a scope on it. I put the thing that lets me aim down sight faster. I get rid of the stock. That's what I'm running. What you guys running?
More attachments than you could ever want, more customizability through weapon tuning of those attachments, and theoretically they're going for this really deep customized gun system. The problem is, you still really have a net negative for almost any attachment you pick. Let's say you have 40 choices for an attachment on a particular component. The viable attachment selection, or even just somewhat neutral, ranges from 0 to maybe 3 to 5 max. It's there are so many attachments that are just a net negative and always will be, unless some really major, overhauls are done. I think in particular, the aim down sight speed penalty for adding attachments needs to be reduced as you add more attachments, if that makes sense. They cannot stack upon one another. It makes guns feel entirely way too heavy, and just you can't use the things you want. Call of Duty is supposed to be about playing the most individual style you would like to, and
Yeah, I mean, you can play your individual style, but there still will be consequences for the attachments you pick. I mean, I don't know. My opinion on the attachments slowing down your aim down sight speed, it's I purposely choose things to lower my aim down sight speed while adding things that I actually need or want, whether it's recoil control, or an extended magazine. It makes you think about it, because if you could just have a super gun, well, then all the guns are good. There's really no point in balancing, except the only thing that's going to make a difference is rate of fire. So I don't know. Also, shout out to Ch0pper having Persona 5 music in the background. I can hear it.
really making a gun that suits that, but you're penalized for even doing so. So expect some pretty decent overhauls to come to the attachment and gunsmith system, as well as the attachment tuning system to return. That'll happen at some point soon. But anyways, let's talk about the maps that have been removed for the game, or might be removed soon. So you may have noticed, if you played the beta, there was the museum map, and at some point during the beta, it got removed, and we're like, okay, we weren't really sure why. They added it back in, and then for the full game, it's nowhere to be found.
What map is this? Is this the museum? Because I like this map. In third person especially, it's really fun. I like it.
Once again. So what happened? Apparently this map is, based
Oh
off
no, that's the one. I think Ch0pper made this video. He's like, oh, there's a bunch of stuff here, but then there's this open area with nothing in it that is terrible, and then there's this other side. So yeah,
location in real life.
I
It's a
never played it.
museum in LA, and they did
LA?
not get the proper permissions apparently for to
Putting
even
it in
use
the
the
game.
likeness of this map at all. So they're in some kind of
make a
legal
new
battle.
museum.
We don't even know if this game is going to come back whatsoever. They had legal troubles with museum, with the raceway map. They had to completely change the name and a few other elements, and they're also having legal problems with the hotel map. Though
Why is Activision having these legal problems? You have all this money. You have billions of dollars. Just pay them out, man. If somebody wants 50K to use the likeness of the map, absolutely not. Just make a new fucking map. But if they want just like $8,000 for you to put the map in the game, why not? And even 50K, that's nothing to this billion-dollar company, but still, 50K, that's a lot of fucking money for one map. I can see why they wouldn't want to do it. Just make a new map.
a good chance that museum never makes it back to the full game,
And that's the issue, man. They keep making maps based off real places. Just come up with something. There's no reason why a developer was walking around the museum in LA. They were like, man, it'd be nice if if we could put this in the game. You could hide there, you could shoot from there, because that makes you just sound like a complete weirdo talking about where you can kill people in a museum.
and hotel could possibly get removed. So if you enjoy that map, which I don't, so I'm not worried about it, but if you enjoy that map, go and play it more, and we'll see what happens to it. But it is pretty crazy. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have noticed the fact that some of the just basic bones of a Call of Duty game are inexplicably missing. So for example, combat record and being able to see your basic stats just don't exist in the game. You want to see your KD, or like how many of certain medals you've earned? Sorry.
Or where you shot and killed people, like in Black Ops 1, you could see where you shot the most at. Mine was like around the torso area. For some reason, the right leg as well.
You can't do that right now. Barracks are also nowhere to be found. There's no UI timer for how long your XP token is active. So
so I did activate. I literally clicked activate on the XP token. They just disappeared. I'm like, where the hell are my XP tokens at? So they are there. Can't see it.
When I've started using mine, I
Weird.
just have to look at a clock and like, oh, in an hour from now,
Yeah,
approximately, I'll not have
that's
double XP, stuff like that. Shouldn't have to do that. And then also,
it's
ranked
weird.
play is not in the game. However, they did confirm that earlier today that ranked play will be coming in 2023. I assume, very early on,
Okay.
maybe January, February, along that timeline. Also, things like custom reticles and even blueprints. Like blueprints
Yeah,
have been
blueprints.
such
We
an
need
integral
those.
part of this new
Yes,
like style of Call of Duty ever since Modern Warfare
100%.
2019 that to
Yes,
not have it, especially at
is
the launch of this
weird.
game, just did feel really odd. But I imagine because this is such a core piece to the store and also their monetization tactics that
What?
literally blueprints
Bro.
cannot not exist whenever the store gets up and running. But it is like still preseason right now, so I imagine a lot of that stuff will be coming sometime around the
Get him,
time of
Chop.
season 1, or at least they have to get that interface working before the store is actually functional. The community's also been pretty vocal about no crossplay disabling option for Xbox and
Mm,
PC players. For PlayStation, and I guess specifically on PS5, this works fine. But
okay.
for any Xbox or PC players, the option, the ability to disable crossplay is like nowhere to be found. I
The only reason why I haven't disabled crossplay is because it gets me in a match faster. Maybe it makes no difference. Let me know. All the 5 players, all you guys with the 5, did you disable PC crossplay? And if you did, has it made matchmaking longer or has it not? Have you not seen a difference?
I genuinely don't know if that was intentional or not, but it is only accessible on PlayStation at the moment. Now, this next one's pretty important. Infinity Ward have confirmed that they're making some adjustments and changes to camo progression. They did not elaborate on many details, but
How?
I think this
I
means
wish you would tell
probably
us.
two things. Number one, they're going to be addressing the glitches themselves
The
that were
glitches?
preventing people from acquiring camo. So, for example, there was
Oh
problems
Lord.
with, camo progression not tracking
Oh my
correctly with
goodness.
certain weapons and, using certain attachments. You would not be able to unlock camos. It was definitely a bug,
Wow.
but also at the same time, I think this means they may be adjusting the amount of XP that is granted for, certain weapons. In particular, playing Invasion right now is by far the fastest way to rank up
Yep,
guns and get camos.
it
And it's
is.
like almost too fast, according to some people, if you're using double weapon XP, and
Shut the hell up, man. We can't have good things for nothing. I don't really care about the camo system, but bro, I like Invasion, so having less people in Invasion is a detriment to me.
that sort of thing, but we don't know if they are going to be maybe nerfing the amount of XP that is granted through these modes. Like, that's a little bit unclear right now. So at the moment, before any of these patches roll out, if you want to level up your weapons, I would say probably now is the time to do so before any further adjustments to the game are
Facts.
made. Infinity Ward
Facts.
also disabled the use of ping in multiplayer because there was this game-breaking glitch. I had it in my games a couple of times. I'm sure you guys have too,
What
where
do you mean?
you would ping an enemy and it would stay on them
Oh.
permanently. Like, it would follow them through walls. It would, immediately spawn on them as soon as they enter the map again. It was actually like
What?
using a wall hack. Absolutely broken, and something that Infinity Ward thankfully removed pretty quickly, but this was obviously not working properly or as intended.
So that's why there's no ping in the game right now because it was broken. That is terrible. I actually would like the ping system come back. Please just get rid of that bug because that is broken as hell.
So I imagine it's going to come back, but it's going to be, functioning as normally, but I just don't know when. But then finally, the big ticket stuff that is coming on November 16th is obviously, that's when the release of Warzone 2 is coming. DMZ
Warzone
is also
2.
coming out,
Okay.
so these two massive
Ooh, DMZ. I really want to check that out. We played it in the story mode, but how does it work out in the game? Is there AI? Can you stay in the DMZ as long as you want? Is there a time limit? We gotta find out. Hopefully, it's not like Battlefield's version. I don't remember what it's called, Blackout or something like that. Absolutely boring mode. Nobody even played it.
pillars of game modes coming to Modern Warfare 2. There's apparently some new favorite MP maps that are being released, as well as a new Spec Ops
Dome.
mission. The Battle Pass and
Wait, just
everything will be
one?
coming with the release of Season 1 and all of the peripherals with that, but the big stuff is
I was upset about Spec Ops, man. I really wish that they made it like Modern Warfare 2 and 3, have a whole bunch of different missions, and they just ramp up in difficulty. Let us run the pit again, bro. Like, why is special forces, why is special ops like just getting the shaft? I thought this was gonna be Modern Warfare 2, the original, except looks better, plays better, is better. And instead it's just been a wet noodle of a game. 3 spec ops missions, 3
going to be coming on the 16th. We don't know if any of these minor patches and things that, were spoke about in the beginning of the video are going to be addressed beforehand. I imagine a lot of the stuff will probably happen at
100%.
once. Apparently, the hardcore playlist is also being added to the rotation with the release of Warzone 2 and DMZ, and the big update on the 16th.
Hold on, what were you saying? I was too busy looking at him miss.
Added to the rotation with the release of happen at once. Apparently, the hardcore playlist
yes, I would love to see hardcore.
Is also being added to the
I would love to see hardcore
rotation with the release of Warzone 2 and DMZ, and the big update on the 16th with the release of Season 1. You can actually see what the prestige icons look like from this image. This is most likely the final build of this.
Ain't that the old school prestige where the the skull is moving, the knife is moving a little bit?
Or what it's going to actually look like. All of this major stuff that's happening on the 16th, the only worry I have is that the implementation of these things will possibly break maybe a lot of the hot fixes or smaller changes that they make in the meantime. I don't know how many of these smaller changes will be implemented before then, but I just hope it's not a mess when they do actually roll out the big update on the 16th and when Season 1 actually finally kicks off. Because if we have a successful kickoff with Season 1, then the game is already in a much better trajectory than it could be. I just hope they really nail it with this upcoming update. And please, for the love of God, I am begging you, if the VFX team is listening to this, please give us digital green kill pop-up animations instead of this white one. Literally the entire community would like this. So anyways, as far as the most major,
I personally don't care, but that'd be cool.
Updates, these are going to be happening on the 16th when Season 1 rolls out. Warzone 2 and DMZ are going to be releasing at the same time. So any content regarding that, don't worry, I got you covered here as well. So if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and make sure you are subscribed to the channel.
Chop, let's play DMZ, bro. This is a good video. The attachments part, I don't really agree. I'm gonna hit the video with the like button, of course. But no, the attachment, it makes you think a bit, because if you could just pick the best item for each attachment, well then what's the whole point? You just make your own super gun, or you just copy somebody else's stuff on YouTube. I mean, you could do that now, but still, like, the whole best class, there's still some side effects with it. It's not really the best when you can cancel it out with something else of the same gun. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But overall, it's good. Thank you for the news update, Chop. I appreciate it. Thanks for telling me about these glitches. I didn't even know. But yeah, I honestly do think this is a train wreck. I've constantly ran into bugs playing solo and then trying to play with friends. Either I would crash or they would crash, and we can't even play together. And I'm not talking about just one person. Like, if 4 of us want to play together, there's at least one of us that's going to crash or not even load into the game. They will say loading into the match. I'll load into the match because I have the PS5. They have a PS4, so it's like, okay, we're waiting. Did they load into the match or no? And then I'm in the match for probably 2 minutes, and they're still like, nah, bro, I'm loading. If you look at the scoreboard, they're missing, and it's just an open slot. So now our team's at a disadvantage until they cancel out. So this game is a buggy, broken mess. Very disappointing to see it, honestly, because with the whole 1 week early for story mode, and story mode was running completely fine. Personally, I haven't had no issues with story mode. For the game to come out and just be an absolute travesty. Well, maybe that's an exaggeration, but maybe I'm just disappointed. But great video, Chop, man. Comment, rate, subscribe if you guys enjoyed my reaction. If you didn't enjoy it, leave a dislike. I don't know. It helps with the YouTube video anyway. But it's your boy. Comment, rate, subscribe. I said that already. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.